We're going to open this up. There's some very, very knowledgeable people here in terms of informing you of your gun rights and what we need to do regarding the Second Amendment. But there's a couple of things I want to stress to all of you, and it's one of the reasons why Wrko sponsored this town hall meeting. In all my years covering politics, I have never been more frightened for the history of our republic than I am right now. And I truly believe now our republic is in mortal peril. We are, I believe, hanging by a thread. And one of the things this radical administration wants to do is they understand one thing. The Second Amendment is fundamental to human liberty and American freedom. They know that. Our founding fathers understood it, conservatives understand it, liberals understand it. And it's one of the reasons why the left has been determined for decades to slowly nibble away and eventually destroy the Second Amendment. If you study the Founding Fathers, as I do, I revere the Founding Fathers. There's not a weekend that goes by that I don't read the Federalist Papers or read something that Jefferson wrote or Madison wrote. They stressed this point, and as I would say, it's the mother of all points. Why are gun rights, the right to bear arms? Why is it the Second Amendment? Why is it not the Third, or the Fourth, or the Fifth, or the Sixth? The First Amendment, as we all know, is freedom of expression, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly. But our Founding Fathers understood a disarmed citizenry is a subservient citizenry. And so to exercise your fundamental freedoms, to be a free man, to be a free woman, you have to be able to carry a gun, because that can defend you and defend your family. And I'll never forget this. One of my mentors was a Jewish professor back in Montreal years ago. And he brought me to a Holocaust survivors meeting. And they all said this to me, and it reminded me of my grandfather. They said, every Jew after World War II who survived the Holocaust said, if we were armed, we never would have gone to Auschwitz. We never would have gone to Buchenwald. The first thing the Nazis did is they took the arms, the weapons away from the citizenry, because then you're defenseless. You're at the mercy of the state. My grandfather, God bless his soul, only cried twice in his entire life. He's probably an older guy, old school guy. Many of you, your father, your grandfather, rough hands, worked the land. He was a peasant, hard man, tough man. Once, when we knew it was going to be the last time we were going to see each other, that was near the end of his life. But he told me this story. He said, when the communists came in Eastern Europe, like a bunch of red locusts, like a plague, descending upon Eastern Europe, within 3 days, they were still killing off the opposition. He says, they came into our home, Jeff, and the first thing they did, I had a beautiful hunting rifle on my wall. They took my gun. And they did that to every one of our neighbors. And he said, I went on my hands and knees, and I put my hands over my face, and he goes, I cried. Because then I knew our days were numbered.